Help. My concrete front porch is falling apart. Look at this. Cracks along the side, falling apart in the front. These are the tools that I'm going to use to try my best for the first time to repair my front concrete porch. I decided to go with a product called Quikrete Fast Drying Cement. I saw a lot of videos on YouTube, and so I decided I would try the product. As you can see, I have quite a bit of work to try to address here. Look at this. It's falling apart on the top and also on the front. Look at that. That's crazy. So never seen anything like this. I pulled the chunk of concrete off and I noticed that underneath it was like a beach. So much sand. I thought it was just going to be a chunk of concrete, but turns out it was a lot of loose debris that I've taken a wire brush to remove all of that extra sand-like material. And I also did that around the side of the stairs as well, just so that I can make sure I clear it out, spray it down with a little bit of water before I start applying the Quikrete fast drying cement. The top of the porch pulls apart like a puzzle. Crazy, right? So I took my time to do that, and I'm going to pretty much do the same thing, use my wire brush to clear that space out, remove a lot of the debris, and then I'm going to get to mixing this fast drying concrete mixture. Like I said, I've never worked with it before, so I took my time to work with it in batches so that I wouldn't be as intimidated and I can, not be rushed. And I would just apply it as I went on. But it was pretty straightforward. I mixed it in with water until I got it to the consistency that I was happy with. I decided to go with a consistency that was a little bit thicker than mashed potatoes, particularly because I'm going to be working on a vertical surface on some of this repair. I wanted something that would stick and not fall down as much. And so I went with that consistency and started applying it to the vertical substrate of the front porch. So as you can see in the video, I'm still working that piece, and I'm also working along the side of the stairs as well because that was pretty damaged. Now I've moved to the top to start applying the fast drying concrete mixture in that big gap that was there. I did this because I wanted it to start drying, and then I would work on another part of the porch and then come back to it so that I can apply even more to get it to set right. And so right now I'm just using a metal trowel to spread it out evenly, try to fill in all of the voids, all of the cracks, all of the space where that loose concrete had been taken up. I've also taken the time to move to the front and the top on the edge of the porch, which I was really happy about how it's coming out so far. I was a little intimidated by this process, but I watched a lot of videos of how to try to smooth that out and form that edge. And so far, so good. It's looking okay. Yep, this is pretty good. I moved back to the top of the porch and started applying some more fast drying concrete mixture real liberally because I figured, I'd rather have too much than too little. And the plan is just to spread it out and fill in the void until I get to the end. And I'm going to use my sponge to kind of somewhat feather it in so that it blends with the rest of the top of the porch. Right here, you can see I'm just using my trowel to spread it out. I'm starting to smooth it out a little bit more now. And then I've moved to the side of it along with the top so that I can blend in the edges and work it around to the side of the porch. But this is a pretty straightforward process. Again, you just want to keep in mind that it dries pretty quickly. And so you want to have a plan of how you're going to approach this project. Also keep a spray bottle with water so you can get a little bit more working time by misting it with the water. Right here, I am trying to use a feathering like technique to blend it in, but also to smooth out some of those edges where I use the trowel to apply it. And I use that sponge a little bit wet to blend in some of the strokes from the trowel as well, just to give it a smooth appearances. And I went along the edges of the top and the side to round out those corners to make it less sharp and more smooth and give it a nice natural concrete looking texture. So that's what you see in the video. I'm doing the front right now, spraying that down, get a little bit more working time, and I'm just going to work the rest of it in, just trying to blend it in and continue to work on that top side edge. along with the side of the steps as well, which I didn't get a really good shot of it other than the beginning. So forgive me for that. But I pretty much did the same thing as I'm doing on the top and on the front to the side of the steps as well. But yeah, this was a really fun project. I can't wait to see how it looks when it dries. If I need to go over it again, like I may suspect to, do some final touches, I have more than enough of the concrete setting to do that. But I am going to be honest about the video. It's my first time. It's not perfect, but I'm really proud of my efforts. And, I just really want to encourage you guys to try it yourself so that you don't be afraid to do your own projects. And this is the only way that you really learn, by doing it, right? And so I'm just doing some final touches, smoothing it in, trying to blend it out. And yeah, this is the final product right here. It's drying. This is like maybe an hour later. Those dark patches is because it was a lot thicker right there, but it's going to dry as well. And I can't wait to see the end result. After things had dried fully, I wasn't 100% happy with the results. And so I decided to go for a round two. Particularly, some of the things I wanted to improve upon was the top of the porch. It had dried with some of the marks and the rippling of the trowel that I had used. And so I wanted to see if I can better improve it in terms of it being smoother and more consistent with the pattern of the porch. And I also wanted to better improve the edges of the top and the sides of the porch. And so I remixed some of the concrete mixture and I laid it out, as you can see in the video, and I just started working it. I learned a lot on the first go around as well, that you have to let it dry to a certain consistency where you can really mold it and shape it. If you try to shape it too soon, it's too wet. And if you wait too long, it's going to be too dry. So you just have to really get that right consistency before you can really work it. And this is what I did in the second part of this video. I'm really happy with how things turned out so far. But yeah, just take a look. I'm just going over the edges of it again. And on the top, this time around, I decided to go for a more stippling effect as opposed to something super smooth. I thought it looked a lot better and looked more like the rest of my porch. And so I'm looking forward to see how that dried out. But here's the finished result for real this time. I love, love, love how it came out. I can't wait to see it dried. This is so much better than the first go round. Yeah, really happy with this. So don't be afraid to try to work with this quick setting concrete mixture. It's actually fun, and I'm looking forward to doing more projects with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really thank you guys for taking time out to look at the video. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel.